and this is RWJ Cow.
Chat.
This is RWJ Cow.
Chat.
All right, so I'm Mommy J.
I'm Big J.
And
Little J.
So we are the J Girls, and this evening we are coming on a normal scheduled time, 6 p.m. every Saturday, to discuss, just to talk on the couch. This is our couch, and we chat over it. And we are J Girls. I said that before. All right. Okay. So, what topic we've been doing? What is the topic we've been doing recently? Can you remind everybody?
Virtue.
We've been doing virtue, and that's the topic we've been doing, and we've gone a very long time discussing virtue. If you want to find out all the things we've discussed about virtue, check on the description. Go to our YouTube channel. We've done several videos, and these are the several things we've discussed in virtue: integrity, discernment, diligence, temperance, courage, humility, respect, and we're on the last one, love. So we've been treating everything, yeah?
When did we do diligence? Was that the one where there was the... Oh, I remember.
Just
the one where there were the beavers.
Okay, yes, that was one of the beavers.
And take initiative.
Oh, yeah.
Initiative.
No, initiative in that one. All right, so let's continue. So we've been talking about, we've done the moral of personhood, we've done the moral of action, and we are doing the moral of relationship. And today's topic is love. And we started last week. Apologies, we had a lot of technical errors with our sounds, and so we lost a lot of the presentation. So we had to cut it off and redo it today. So we are starting all over again with where we stopped last week. So we are on generosity this week because that was the part that there was no audio. So let's go straight into generosity as we begin to discuss what generosity is.
Hospitality,
Bounty.
and
Benevolence. Okay, so it's the principle of
Open-handedness.
principle. So what does that mean in practical sense?
That's a physical example, but then there's also like the mental example when you're saying open-handedness, like sharing and helping, not hesitating to help people.
So generosity actually starts from the mind before it gets outside. So if you don't have a generous heart, you can't have a generous hands, because your mind has to be committed. Whatever actions you take, your mind is committed to. What is hospitality?
Hospitality is like Jemmy said last week.
What did she say?
Taking in people.
Taking in people. You have
Being
to
a
speak
good
loud.
host.
You need to speak loud. Being a good host, taking in people. And so that is what that means. What about bounty? What does bounty? What does it mean? What does bounty? What does it mean?
I'm not sure.
Bountiful. I said it last week. When something is plenty, you have plenty of it to give.
That's a different meaning of generous, I think, because generous can mean like many or much, and then there's the kindness aspect.
Yeah.
I think bounty is more to do with many or much. So.
And so that's when that leads us to benevolence. What's benevolent?
Benevolence is like kindness.
It's kindness. So you're being kind. So that everything comes from the heart. That's why we call it the principle of open-heartedness. So what is it? Little J, let's start from you. Green.
Willingness to give or to share. The example is C shows generosity to those in need. The second meaning is an act of unselfishness by giving. The sentence example is her generosity was appreciated.
All right, so there are two things. So generosity is about the willingness, and the second one is an act of unselfishness. You know, the willingness is the heart. That was where it starts from. Then the act also, unselfishness, has to be from the heart. So you to know a really generous person, it has to start from the heart. So because a lot of people give, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're generous. We'll find out that. But real generosity as a virtue starts from the heart. I'll take the next one. The quality or fact of being plentiful or large, bounty. Yeah. A generous person is friendly, helpful, willing again to see good qualities in someone or something. There is a willingness, and you notice it said to see good quality. So, generosity comes with a sense of willingness. A generosity comes towards thinking positively about something or someone, to do good to someone. Okay, Big J, the next one.
Generosity is the virtue of being liberal in giving, often as gifts. Generosity is regarded as a virtue by various world religions and is often celebrated in cultural and religious ceremonies.
Yeah. Okay, so what does that mean?
Liberal is like looks or like, accepting.
Yeah,
Like,
liberal.
liberal as like politics is accepting, then liberal right here is, like you don't have friction, like you can allow stuff to happen. I think
You can allow, you can give it free. And I like the way it says that it's mostly associated with a lot of world religion.
Yeah.
And then it's celebrated in several culture and religious ceremony.
Like harvest.
Just because I wanted to say So the most generous people are those that do it without actually thinking, or they just do it and they are not seeking for a reward. So when you see somebody that is generous and is looking for a reward, is that person truly generous? Like, oh, I give to charity.
So I should get $1,000.
I give to charity so much. So we should be
But
aware.
they're looking for the accolade.
They're looking for the accolade. They want to publish themselves in the newspaper as the people that gave the most money, that gave the most things. Generous people don't do that. And little J, can you read?
Kind and generous people are altruistic.
We did that last week. So kind and generous. What is altruistic again? Can you remind me?
It's like I'm not sure too. Like thinking of others and like being considerate.
So you're selfless,
Yeah.
giving everything
Yeah.
about you to others. So kind and generous people are always like that. They go out of their way. That's altruistic, to help others. So now see, kind, I said that at the beginning. So kind people are always generous, but not all generous people are always kind.
Because like you were saying, like you can give and give to charity, but maybe you're not kind. Maybe you're just doing.
Yeah, just doing it for the
accolades and
accolades.
recognition.
Exactly. For example, a generous person may give a lot of money to support charity. I said that, but is a squander in other aspects of life. So ask yourself, are you really giving? Are you really giving? Are you really generous? Or you are just giving because you want to be seen? And you are really, and when you give it to, you turn back and say, oh, those poor people, it's just nice to be able to hand out some things for them. You understand? Are you really doing it from your heart, or you're just being
Or the person who said, I want to give to that person so I can feel better.
so you can feel better? You're doing it because you feel better. You want the other person to feel better. Okay, what's the difference between kindness and generosity?
Kindness is the quality of being friendly, considerate, and generous, while
Generosity refers to someone who is willing to give more help or money, especially more than strictly necessary or expected. So
giving more.
giving more than expected. A kind person will give because they are considerate and they just give and they are friendly. But a generous person will take a step further, more than expected or necessary. That is why kindness is also generosity, but generosity is an elder sister of kindness.
Better to be generous.
Better to be generous than just kind. So
Kind
this
is still good, but generous is better.
generous is better. You need to speak loud. So we have generosity. Let's shout out the words: giving, others,
Granted.
American.
Fortunate. Oh no, not so good.
feel good,
Sharing.
Weather.
Share.
blessing,
Resources.
things,
Without.
Voluntary.
help,
Heart.
Give.
resources,
Realize.
people,
Workload.
blessings. Right. So these are all the words that are associated with generous. Let's think if we're generous people. So, why is generosity important? Big J.
Acts of generosity, such as giving your time, talent, or resources, and expecting nothing in return, have been proven to be good for our health.
Okay,
So if you want to be healthy, be generous.
be generous. Generous individuals are personally more fulfilled, happier, and more peaceful within themselves. And not to mention, more productive at home, at school, or place of work. So generous people are more productive, they are happier, and they are more peaceful. Wow. If you want to have peace, if you don't have peace, please try generosity. You have a bit of peace in your life.
Mhm.
That's a very good one. So, Little J, can you read the yellow poster?
Happiness is the ultimate inner experience of living with generosity, love, kindness, compassion, and gratitude.
Good. So all those things bring happiness. Okay. So I'll do the next one. To do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, and all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as ever you can. And that was by John Wesley. He reminded us all the can. As much as you can, remain generous, help somebody, develop the virtue of generosity. It's not something that jumps on us, it's something that we develop, that we become better at. So these are the key things about generosity: giving something we value to someone, encouraging the best in each other, never selfish, read,
Enjoying helping others.
Raising support for good cause,
offering what we can,
sharing your time and talent, inviting someone to join in,
taking care of God's creation for future generations,
or taking care of the environment for future generation.
And you first,
me last. Generosity is always thinking.
When it says the first one, giving something we value to someone else, that's like in Heidi, because she gave the beautiful pictures of roses that her best friend gave to her to see all over. To see all over Frankfurt. So she gave the garland of roses.
So she gave somebody what was really, really valuable to her. You understand? What was important to her. You know, sometimes we find it very difficult to give things that are valuable to us. We'll give our old clothes, but not our new clothes to people, the nice clothes. So generosity gives the valuable one, encourages the best on others. It's not selfish. It helps others. It's offering all it can to help and invite others into their home or things like that. And generosity is always thinking about you first, me last. So anytime you see somebody that is always me, that person needs to work on generosity. I'm talking to myself and I'm talking to the J girls. If you're always saying me first, so what are the things? Don't isolate yourself from others. You won't show generosity. Don't keep too much things to yourself. Don't beat on yourself when you have a rough day. You're not generous to yourself. Okay, volunteer in various organizations or school activities. Donate to those in need. Do work together on your negative traits. Then that shows that you are generous. Okay? Right. So, big J, little J, before we go to Mercy, can we have a chat? What have we learned about generosity so far?
That you can be generous. No, you have to be generous to be kind. But you don't have to be kind to be generous.
You have to be generous to be kind. You don't have to be kind to be generous. That's true.
Because you can just give and give and give, but not really care what you're giving. You can give away all your old clothes that you don't even want to wear. So.
Okay, little Joe, what have you learned?
That we should always remember the other people in our lives, not just ourselves.
We should always remember other people.
Ourselves.
Okay, and I think the most important thing I learned from generosity is a virtue, and I have to develop it. Nobody becomes generous like a star. The star just comes up, shines. So the generosity is developed. Some people are better at it than others. And so daddies and mommies, boys and girls, everybody listening to us, let's try and look at generosity. And most importantly, not just because we want to give so that everybody will see it. Or let's give an example. What is happening in Ukraine? Everybody is giving. Yes.
Most of the people are good motives. So there are going to be some people are doing it for the media.
Exactly. Some people are doing it with the good motive, and other people are doing it for the bad motive. Generosity does it for good motive because they don't want to be heard or seen that they are the ones doing it. Okay. So let's run to the next topic, and the next topic. The next topic is mercy.
Not forgiveness.
Mercy. So what is?
But the topic after this is forgiveness.
So what is mercy? So we have forgiveness.
Leniency and tenderness.
What's leniency?
Lenience.
To
Like,
lenient.
bending.
To bending, to soften.
So you're not rigid.
You're not hard. Like you can say, oh,
Rigid means
Judge,
that
wait,
you
Judge.
can't bend over.
now you can go to class and you say, Mr. White is so lenient. And say, Mrs. White is so hard. How are they husbands and wife? So lenient means it's so easy, it's so soft. We can let go of whatever you do. So is mommy lenient? No chance.
yes.
No chance.
Yeah, sometimes you are. Sometimes you are.
Mommy is so hard. It's so
Look at
hard.
my grades. You don't hold them against you for ages and ages. You might get upset for a little while, but then you don't keep going and saying, "But you got a C in this subject, so blah blah blah."
Okay. So it also means tenderness. So I'm kind of trying to be tender to these two girls. So mercy means tenderness. So what's the principle of mercy?
Principle of mildness.
Mildness. So the principle of mildness. So let's find out what everything we can learn about mercy. So what is mercy, Little J?
An act of kindness, compassion, or favor. Something that gives evidence of divine favor, blessing.
So mercy. So their mercy can be physically to human being. It's an act of kindness, compassion, or favor. And for those that are religious or believe in something divine, is an evidence of favor or blessing.
You know, this whole page doesn't say the word mercy.
This whole page.
Yeah.
That's very good observation. So the disposition to be compassionate and forbearing. I like the word forbearing.
What does that mean?
Forbearing, being able to accept other people's weakness.
So for means before.
Yeah, so forbearing before they do it, before they even act badly.
Can I just tell Jackson? Jack said for as in before. But for it should be FORE.
Yeah, for
But this one is
forbearing. So this one is accepting, ability to accept another person's weakness or fault. So they are forbearing. So Big J, can you read one?
Compassionate or kindly forbearance shown toward an offender, an enemy, or other person of one's power. Compassion, pity, or benevolence.
Exactly. So you can see it's all about showing somebody kindness. It's all about looking at being kind on somebody in spite of what they've done. So the discerning power of a judge. Now this is where it comes to the different aspect of mercy. The discerning power of a judge to pardon someone or to mitigate punishment, especially to send to prison rather than invoke a death penalty. So to lessen a judgment upon someone.
That's like land.
That's like what? What's
Lenient.
Leniency. Yeah, good. That's leniency. Leniency. Bizarre. All right, so let's see this quote. Little J.
All the great things are simple, and many can be expressed in this single word: freedom, justice, honor, duty, mercy, hope.
So many great things are simple, and one of the very great things that are simple is mercy.
Wasn't Abraham Lincoln the president?
This is Winston Churchill, Prime Minister.
The next one.
We're on the next.
Okay, yeah, both of them. One was president, one was Prime Minister. Big J.
I have always found that mercy bears richer fruits than strict justice.
Ooh.
Justice.
So why do you think mercy bears richer fruits?
Because justice only makes one person feel good. Like, I got them because they did something wrong and I punished them severely, and now I feel good. But the other person isn't feeling good. When you have mercy, the other person's like, wow, I know what I did. I did that wrong, and I'm really, really sorry. And I'm so glad I didn't get this, but I got this instead. And then the person who was merciful will be like, wow, I made a difference in someone's life, and I know they were sorry. And I helped them.
Yeah, I would agree completely with you, but I will add a point that in terms of the strictness, the other party might necessarily not be happy.
Which other party?
The party that gave the judgment. Let me give you an example. When I'm strict with you, at the end of the day, am I happy? Nah.
So maybe strict justice makes no one happy.
Makes no one happy at the end of the day.
Or one person.
Yeah, or one person. If the person has no conscience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have a conscience.
You have a conscience.
All right. Now we know that. Thank you. Thank you. So that was by Abraham Lincoln. So let's find out what else quotes we have. Okay, Big J.
Rats and roaches live by competition under the laws of supply and demand. It is the privilege of human beings to live under the laws of justice and mercy.
What does
By
that
Wendell
mean?
Berry.
What does that mean?
I have no idea.
So let's say rats and cockroaches, wherever they are, it is by competition who gets food to eat.
Didn't we do a quote by Wendell Berry before?
Okay,
It didn't
now
have-
we don't know where that code is. Can we focus on this one? Can we do this one now?
Yes.
Okay, so rats and roaches, they compete and they in terms of who is going to eat what. But when it comes to human being, it is not by who is going to do what. It's about who is right, who is wrong, who can we have mercy on us, who can we have mercy on. So the rule is different. But you know that in some communities, in some places, people live like rats and roaches. Whoever grabs first, whoever, they don't care.
Especially in extreme poverty.
Yeah, not just in even among the rich. Didn't you hear the quote that the rich always becomes richer and the poor becomes always poorer? Because they just keep demanding, they just keep greed, that desire to just have more keeps increasing. But in a real, that's why I said it's a privilege. When we want to look at it as humans, it's real privilege that we live with justice and mercy.
But justice isn't wrong, right? Wrong, right?
Justice doesn't necessarily mean punishment. Justice means giving the right person what they deserve. Let me give an example. A young man rapes a lady. It's not an extreme case. It happens every time. Don't turn your face at me. Now, a young man rapes a lady. Now, justice or cheats in exam. Justice means this paper will be torn and thrown away. Not necessarily go to prison. For the lady, justice for the lady means the person is caught and whatever punishment is required is given. So for the two, justice means different things. For the lady that was raped, justice means, or at least is caught, he won't hurt another person. For the person that did the harm, justice means, oh, he has to go for the punishment.
Then the lady may get a compensation.
The lady might get compensation. So that's why it is a privilege that we have those rules so that the society can be, go to a society where there is no justice and there is no peace. Everything is upside down. There is no rule of law. Everything is wrong. With mercy and sympathy, no one will hate to love one another. What does that mean? Jinx. Stop saying so with mercy and sympathy, if your mercy and sympathy is in a place, there is no way you will hate. All you will do is love one another. No one will hate to love. In other words, you cannot hate to love. Wherever there is mercy and sympathy, you will just love. All you think about is loving. There will be no hating there. All right, so let's see. Let's see this quote.
Mercy is not tolerance. Mercy is forgiveness with the hope of change.
Mercy is not tolerance, is forgiveness with the hope of change.
I don't think that's
Christiana Collective. So
I don't know if that's the name or that's just
so that means that when it comes to mercy, it's not because I want to tolerate you. It means that I am hoping that you will change. I forgive you with the hope. So when they put people in prison, they put them in prison with the hope that whenever they come out of prison, they don't continue to be criminals. They don't continue to steal or kill anymore. All right. So mercy is all about forgiving people with the hope that they will change. It's not I tolerate a thief and then I will just live with them. That's not mercy. Can we read the next one? Big J. Oh no, it's Big J that I just read.
Yeah, I just
But yeah, little J.
Grant me the grace to dissolve my negative thoughts about myself today. I breathe the grace of kindness into my heart. And may the grace of healing flow abundantly to everyone in need of help.
So that means that this is a quote. This is something that we should say to ourselves every day.
Yeah.
This is a prayer. If you don't pray, but this is something that you should say to yourself. Grant me the grace to dissolve all the negative thoughts about myself every single day. I breathe the grace to be kind in my heart. And I like the last one. May the healing overflow abundantly to everyone that is in need. That is, may I have mercy on anyone that is in need around me. May I flow with grace to have mercy on those around me. Okay? All right, so let's read the next quote. Mercy is all about quotes. Let's read the next quote.
this quote.
Always seek justice, but love only mercy. To love justice and hate mercy is but a doorstep to more injustice.
No way.
Do you know what that means?
So like always look for justice.
Mhm.
Like but still have mercy as well. Like
Mhm.
don't just let someone completely off for murdering like 8 people. Like give them justice. Also give them mercy.
So let me give an example. Now, a boy has not eaten for 3 days. He finally enters a shop and steals to eat. So what happens? The boy gets justice for stealing. Let's assume he's dealt with for stealing. But the truth is, if you don't show mercy, there will be more injustice because the boy has not learned anything
Except the punishment.
and then he will continue to do it. That is why some people go to the prison, come back and continue the same thing. They've really not learned the importance of what they went through. That is why when they come out of prison, they just continue to do it. And there are sometimes that in some cases, there are some cases I heard in America that
not just in
no, but that's the example I have. Thank you. That somebody does something, and then the number of years they are given to stay in the prison is way more than what they've done.
Oh, it's like if they stole
Miscarriage of justice, yeah.
Some of them they get 8 years.
It's exactly for stealing a book. You see, so sometimes you end up with more injustice. Yeah, so you end up with more injustice instead of mercy over little crimes. And those that actually commit big crimes, they will have few years in prison.
Or they'll just be on like, what's it called?
Exactly. Especially if the person comes from a very rich home compared to somebody else that comes from a poor home. So the poor people will get more years in prison and the rich people will get few years in prison. So you have opened another doorway for another miscarriage of justice.
But that
because
would be injustice anyway.
That's injustice we're talking about anyway. All right. So let's go and read the next one. When you experience mercy, you learn things that are hard to learn otherwise.
You see things you can't otherwise see.
You hear things just that's what happened when we experience mercy. I don't know where it stopped, but I can really go back and say, so the boy went to prison. I'll just paraphrase again, and for killing another person. So the woman is a Christian, and she kept visiting the boy. The woman that the son died is a Christian. She kept visiting the boy in the prison until his sentences was reduced. And when he left the prison, he had nowhere to go. The woman offered him a place in her house, and she like became her son at the end of the day.
That's a nice story.
Yeah, it's a real story. So that is what that's a nice ending. But there are some people that can never forgive those people that kill their children, right? So we have to understand that mercy produces humanity inside of us. Little J.
Mercy is the stuff you give to people that don't deserve it.
Correct, like you. Yeah. Yes, Mayor said, mercy is the stuff you give to people that don't deserve it.
I don't think anyone really deserves some mercy, though.
I don't think anybody, including myself, deserve mercy. But we keep giving each other mercy. Okay, Big J, can you read the next one?
Nothing makes you happier than when you really reach out in mercy to someone who is badly hurt.
Nothing makes you happier than reaching out to somebody else who is hurt and have mercy on them. The young man in the prison was hurt as well. His life had, maybe he never had parents, he never had a dad, he never had a mom, he never had a stable upbringing. He just grew up in anger and all that. He's hurting.
Never had a sibling.
Yeah, he's hurting. So we all carry all level of hurt. Each one, anybody you see in school, on the playground, everybody has a level of hurt. So mercy is important so that we can help to relieve other people's hurt. I think that is the last slide. Yay! so I ended up with very sweet. Short. Yeah, that's very short. We ended up with two sweet quotes today, and it's all about showing mercy. So now, Big J, Little J, what are we learning? What are we taking away?
Mercy is awesome.
Mercy is awesome. So what are we taking away from mercy, Little J?
When you use mercy, the person always repents and doesn't do the same thing again.
The person always repents and doesn't. The person. Mostly yes. Yeah, because
some people are just
hard-hearted. There's nothing you can do. Some people's fault. Some people are really good. Yeah. So most people change after showing them mercy. Like mercy, remember, everybody's hurt, and we need to show mercy so that the humanity in us can reflect in other people. Always remember the story of the woman and the boy in the prison. The humanity in us need to speak because of the mercy we show people. Like, remember, some people don't deserve it. They don't deserve the mercy, but we need to give mercy to people. Remember, mercy is a virtue. It doesn't jump on people once again. It's something we need to develop. And if we don't give mercy, what happens? We open a doorway to injustice. We open more doorway to injustice. And so that's very important. We learned two major lessons today: generosity and mercy. And on that note, we'll come back next week and finish the last concluding part of love. We thank you for practicing generosity and mercy this week, and we shall see you next time. Bye.
Bye.